the other guys filling in, and they're doing a great job. They're young guys. They get a chance to play, and they're just getting better and better every week. And I think, by the end of the year, people are going to understand that, this is going to be a top football team. And defenses win you championships. They got a lot of injuries right now with Andre. Andre comes back, at the right time toward the end of the season. That could give them their push into the playoffs and then through the playoffs, and who knows, a lot could happen. It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if they go deep, if they go to the championship game.
I actually posted that about 2 weeks ago, before St. Louis won, of course, their championship. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. Exactly. And we haven't had players, And I guess my big deal is, and I know you've been there, you were 1-13, so there's no doubt you got booed. There's no doubt, you hear that. And my question is I guess that's a frustrating part from a fan that truly is a fan, to hear the crowd emotionally be booing a team that's 5-3, that's headed in the right direction, that don't have 100% players. How, as a player, do you not? I mean, you have to hear this. Your kids hear it. Everybody. Yeah. How do you not emotionally let some of that involvement get to you?
You don't. You hear it, and you put up with it. It's a very tough pill to swallow. But a lot of that is created by the media. The media in Houston, Texas is not the most favorable in the world. Granted, now it's unfavorable. Everybody's an expert, And I'm going to say this, and I was talking to John off camera earlier. I've got a couple of gripes with a couple of people that are on the air that have this attitude like they think they know everything about football. One thing I know a lot about is football, and I know a lot about football. And a lot more than these guys that are on the air that are talking and pretend that they know a lot about football. And the thing I'd like to just bring to their attention is there are more guys that have come from the football field that have gone into the booths of announcers and done a credible job than there have been announcers that have gone onto the football field to even take a chance.
Exactly.
So anytime these guys think it's easy, they create that attitude. They create that frustration. And, fans are fans. They hear all this stuff, they take it in, and they take it out on the players. And that's not right. It's funny. If you start getting behind these people like we had in Love You Blue in 78 and 79, we had a 12th man with our fans. And I'll tell you what, when teams came to the Astrodome, they knew they were going to be in trouble.
All I need is an opportunity, Dan. That's all I need.
Well, coach?
No, to play.
Oh, to play?
Yeah.
I can arrange it. Make it happen.
All right. You did mention Wade Phillips, and there was a bet on Sports Radio 610. Greg Cook and Josh Ennis, and maybe we'll get their reaction to this when it actually happens. You made the bet boldly. This was a team that was horrible on defense last year, and you made the bet boldly. This is a top 5 defense. We've heard the audio. Well, right now as we speak, they are in the top 5, and your bet was Greg Cook's going to buy you dinner somewhere nice, Del Frisco's, and Josh Ennis was going to shave his body. We've got to talk a little bit about that.
I'm anxious. I'm anxious to see that. And when I made that bold statement, it was on the air. I called into the show and everything else, and I said that this is going to be a top 5 defense. I didn't say finish top 5. I said it's going to be a top 5 defense, okay? Out of 8 weeks now, they've been top 5, I think 3 times.
And they're 5 now.
And they're 5 now. So we got the second half of the season. It's a little bit weaker schedule. And, I play along with them now. We'll go to the end of the season. I don't know how this is going to balance out. I mean, is it going to be a number of weeks, an average of top 5 or top 6? I mean, they haven't been any lower than 8th, I think, so far. So we'll see. But I got news for Josh. It's not going to be a shaving. It's going to be a waxing.
That sounds good to me. All right, back to playing without Andre Johnson. I will say this. To me, Matt Schaub has not been what he was last year or has been in the past, but he's been really good considering he's been banged up, as you were banged up, and he doesn't have Andre Johnson. He's spreading the ball everywhere. What are you seeing from Matt Schaub? Because I know you've believed this. Leadership really begins with the quarterback, doesn't it?
It does, and I think Matt is a tremendous leader. I said this before when he first came down here from Atlanta. First thing he did was call all the offensive players, introduce them, take them out to dinner, invite them over to his house. I mean, he does the little things. The guy here before never did that, I see him struggling, and I think I personally think he hurt his arm and he's not telling anybody about it. And I think, he's had some throws that have been, questionable, but it looks like he's had a sore arm. Now, last week's game, he started picking up a little bit, and it looked like the arm is feeling better. So I'm thinking, he's going to get better along with Andre getting better. It's going to be perfect timing. There's a lot of guys that are walking wounded out there, but they're winning. They're winning the ugly games, and that's what you have to do. And I think that, he's done a great job, an admirable job of spreading the ball around and trying to get it to these guys. And the other guys are starting to step up a little bit, and they've done a good job filling in for Andre. When Andre's out there, you can rest assured you're going to have single coverage on one or two other receivers. He's going to eat up two people, sometimes three. So he just opens up your game tremendously.
Well, at the beginning of the season, Eric Winston's a good buddy of mine, and that was one of the things he said. Week 11, you wouldn't think it's a great time for having an off week, but in reality with this team, it couldn't come at a better time because we're in great position. The competition that we're playing up to that point, so that's going to give us a chance to get healthy and then come running. And like I said, I think we can go deep in the playoffs, and if we get that and believe we can win, then we'll really be there.
I think they got the it. I think they really do. I like the way I like their attitude. I think they just have a different swagger about them. We overuse that term, but they really do. They do believe in themselves. These young guys have no fear, and I tell you what, down on the field, I played the game, but I see these guys, like J.J. Watts. The guy is he's huge, and there's not an ounce of fat on this guy. And, to see the guy do a vertical leap, I don't know if you guys have seen that, but he jumps up at a table higher than this from standing position. These are tremendous athletes, and when those guys that big move that fast, they're going to hurt.
All right, let's get to the book here, and it's Taking Flak is the book that we did with I did with Dan Pastorini, and it's such a good story. I know that sounds self-serving, but it's his story. I did the best I could with his story, and the Love You Blue phenomenon was I contend there never will be anything quite like that. It's great to have this team, and this team is going to go, the city's going to go nuts for this team. But you called it Camelot in the book, and I thought that was pretty appropriate. We're going to get to the bad parts here of what it was like to be a quarterback here, but the apex had to be just something that's just branded on your brain forever and your heart.
No question. People ask me, what were the most memorable times in your career, and it was the Love You Blue in 78 and 79. When we came back to a full stadium, coming back on the planes, we heard from the pilots that, hey, we've got to turn out at the airport, and people are there, and we're kind of scratching our heads. We lost here. What's this about? And then, they deplaned us through the terminal, and people were like 10 deep in the terminal. We made it out to the bus. Normally we just go on the tarmac and go to the buses. We pull the buses out. We go all the way down, JFK Boulevard, all the way down Beltway into 45. Not a car was on the freeway, and you couldn't find a place to park on either side of the road. And people were just on top of their cars going nuts, and here we are running to the Astrodome with a limousine and two buses and a police escort. We didn't need it. There was nobody on the highway. And then when we got into that stadium and you hear these people scream, the windows were up in the bus, and you could not hear each other talk from me to you. And it gives me goosebumps today when I talk about it, because it was the best of times. It was unbelievable. Carl referred to it as Camelot, but it was a love affair with the city. It was a lot of hard-working people in this town. There were a lot of guys that were just coming out of college. They were making money hand over fist in the oil business. Everything was booming. It was growing. We were building a football team and a relationship, and you got a guy like Bum Phillips, who's such a down-to-earth man that leading the pack of the pack of banditos, and it was the best of times, no question.
And you were also building a city. We've talked about that in the book, how the city was representing you as well. But there were some hard times. You had, and it's all in the book, and you had some. Your car was vandalized, your house was vandalized. You had the injury. The whole title, Taking Flak, is the flak jacket. You were the first to wear that. We all know about the Mike Renfro thing, and ultimately you moved on to Oakland, and things started to end there. The perseverance, the question I have is, what is the story you want to be told about everything you went through, the hard times? You had money stolen from you. It's like I said, it's all in the book, and it was just eye-opening to me sitting there with you for the month that we spoke every week. And what's the story that you want people to walk away with?
Well, first of all, you did one hell of a job in writing this book and creating the storyline. And I just, people think, okay, you're a professional athlete and life is wonderful and you're on top of the world. And they don't realize there's a lot more pain that goes along with it. And there are a lot of mistakes made, and there's a lot of things you regret and a lot of things you look back on. I referred to this as a cathartic experience. I mean, I had a lot of demons that, I try to exercise every day. And there was a journey. And I thought that you presented it very well with the storyline that you did. And I'm proud of you, and I'm proud to be a part of this book. But, if anybody reads it and they come away, life is a struggle. Everybody's got struggles. I don't care if you're a janitor or if you're a president of a company or if you're a football player, baseball player, what have you. Everybody has struggles. And thank God for the discipline, I guess, I had from the coaching and the coaches that I've had and making me a strong enough man to persevere through them. I was strong but weak at the same time. And, if anybody, I hope people learn from it, and I hope it's an eye-opener for if they have problems, they can overcome them.
There's absolutely a story, and of course you can get the book at takingflak.com, and that's taking-flak.com. That's where we want you to go to get it. Also done by Author House, but takingflak.com is the place to go. You're going to have book signings coming up. It's coming out this week, by the way. So you'll have book signings coming up. You'll have events. You've got a lot of people that are thanked in the book, and I appreciate the kind words you said to me, but anybody else that really, because what I really liked about doing this book, there is no picture-perfect family. What you think the picture is, isn't it? But you've got that now, and I know you want to say thank you to, by the way, Casey Morse and some of the people.
My girlfriend's daughter, who is a graphic artist, John and I told her what we wanted, and this is what she came up with, and we were just blown away by her creativeness, and I really want to thank her. She did a special job on this, and I know Pam is very proud of her, and I am too.
Very good. Thanks for coming out, man. And I'm going to ride him like a horse because we're going to have book signings and everything else coming out. You're going to have a busy couple of months here, and good luck with all that. Thanks to me.
Thanks a lot. You got me into this mess.
Hey, it's for me. Come over here, girls. I want to say a little couple of goodbyes here. We've got the Texans cheerleaders. Say hello to Dan Pastorini. Hi, and this has been a great, great event. Of course, Bert Brocker brings this to you every week from Texan Plaza. We want to thank the Texans cheerleaders. We want to thank all the people that do all the work out here for us. Of course, Provicom, the guys behind the camera, do a fantastic job. All the teams of the week, all the talks of the tailgate that come out here to Humbles, Turner Stadium every week. It's a fantastic thing. We're going to keep it up. We're going to say go Texans, and hopefully we'll even have a playoff show. What do you say, girls? Thanks for joining us here at Bert. You got any parting words?
And I'll just thank everybody. I want to make sure shout out to Rusty Odom and the great job that the Kingwood ADS
Advanced Audio Video Department. All right, we'll see you next time on the Tailgate at Texan Plaza.
Good job. Good job, man. Good deal. Good job at this. I can bullshit.
Hey, Bert Brocker here, head coach of Texan Buick and GMC. Thank you very much for watching our show. Texan Plaza is going to be a great opportunity for you and your family to be involved in the community. Once again, you can also check me out at TexanGM.com for all of our great deals. I hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks, folks.